best budget phone out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.
Just the one doubleheader, this 2025 Men's Asia Cup, and the action on Monday afternoon in Abu Dhabi kicks off with a chance for one of UAE or Oman to do something they have never done before, register a win in tournament proper. Let's build up to that game on CMF by Nothing presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, where we're joined by Sanjay, Bangar and Aakash Chopra. Gentlemen, thank you for your time. This is one of those games which maybe to a lot of audiences might feel like, okay, what do we expect? But for both teams, it's a chance to do something that they will remember. UAE in their 4th Asia Cup, Oman in their first ever appearance.
Certainly, for sure, and there's another reason for that as well, because they're going to play qualifiers after this tournament, and then the 3 teams which do well in that particular tournament progress to the World Cup. So from that perspective as well, get a measure of each other and try and put up a performance that can be a very good confidence builder as well, that okay, you've beaten a team, you've acquired a win in the Asia Cup, so that goes on to build the confidence of the team as well.
Yeah, that is perhaps the most important aspect of this game if you ask both of these two sides, because there are 3 Asian spots remaining for next year's Men's T20 World Cup in the subcontinent, and for that there are 9 teams in the last East Asia Pacific qualifier, which will be played next month in Oman. So Aakash, for both these teams it's a precursor, because when you consider the 9 teams that are there's Nepal, there's both of these teams, and there's Papua New Guinea, who feel like the 4 front runners for the 3 spots up for grabs.
Correct. So 3 out of the these 4 will actually qualify. Of course, Nepal haven't made it to the Asia Cup, but they are a very good team, so you don't rule them out at all. See, as much cricket as you can play. So that is what these 2 teams are going to will try to achieve from this particular encounter. Of course, they do end up playing a lot against each other as well, because they do play, these associate nations, they do play a lot of cricket. It's just that they end up playing a lot amongst themselves, and that doesn't really make them become better to compete with the better sides or like teams like India and Pakistan we've already seen in this tournament. But as you rightly mentioned, if you do well here, you get some form, you get some runs, you get some wickets, and if you somehow manage to be in the top 3 in that qualifier, then you are actually in the big league. And then USA has already set the template for everyone else, that 2024 just happened, it seems, and they were the ones who qualified, and Pakistan were knocked out. So one of these teams could eventually do that, and these games will always give them a lot of experience.
Yeah, there is no shortage of familiarity. As Aakash points out, these 2 sides keep facing off. They've met quite a lot since the start of 2024. They did in fact contest the final of the 2024 ACC Men's Premier Cup, which was the qualifying tournament for this Asia Cup. That is where UAE beat Oman. Both teams, of course, made it here. They also had very similar scorecards if you look at their opening games, because people will look from the outside and see a 57 all out and 67 all out. But both teams were actually off to decent starts against India and Pakistan. Both were 40 odd for 2, and then it collapsed. Now that they are up against more familiar opponents, similar level of opponents without any disrespect, how do you expect this game to pan out?
See, I mean, between those 2 teams, considering the last match that they played, I would say Oman would probably feel that they had a better match in that sense, because they restricted Pakistan to 160, which I felt was a very good effort on the part of their bowlers. Both teams did fold up quite meekly after they got off to those flying starts, but I believe that amongst both these 2 teams, based on what they've done in the only match that they've played, I would say Oman would be the more confident team approaching in this particular encounter.
Is that a sentiment you echo?
Probably yes, but don't rule out UAE is what I feel, because between the 2 sides you'll find that UAE is still a very strong team, and while you also want to gain something as a team, there is a lot that rides in our game or team sport what we do individually. So that is how you really build towards something bigger. So yes, at a team level, maybe the outcome is not going to really matter in terms of this tournament. Yes, it might actually help you for the qualifiers, but from an individual level, it's an international game. It's a game in the Asia Cup, and one day, I mean, you would want to score runs, take wickets, and be a part of that record as well. That, you know, he's got that Asia Cup century, or he's got an Asia Cup fifer. These are the things that, as a cricketer, individual cricketer, you really try to achieve, so that there is something for you to talk about later as well. So from an individual level as well, yes, from team level, but from an individual POV, I think the game is always important.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much. Short and sweet, UAE versus Oman, Sanjay Bangar, Aakash Chopra, thank you for the setup. It is very neck and neck between these sides. They play a lot. In men's T20Is, UAE lead 5-4. In T20Is in UAE, they lead 2-1. In T20Is since last year, they lead 2-1. What can we expect this time?
Best budget thrown out this year.
CMF Phone 2 Pro. Search now on Flipkart.